Hey everyone, welcome back to Corporate Decoder, the place where we make sense of the crazy world of corporate finance with a dash of mischief. You know, sometimes these filings are so dry you could use them as kindling, but this one, well, it's got a bit of a surprise party. So Vuzix Corporation, a company you might know working on smart glasses and augmented reality tech, they've just dropped a Form 8K. This isn't like your quarterly or annual report that's full of detailed financials. Instead, an 8K is usually for those big immediate events that shareholders need to know about right away. Think surprise executive departures, major new contracts, or as in this case, a shake-up in who's checking their financial homework. The big date here is August 22, 2025. That's when the main event we're talking about today actually happened. Vuzix, the company in question, is actually pretty interesting. They're trying to push forward in the wearable display technology space, which is a fancy way of saying they make smart glasses and similar gear. It's a competitive market, and like many tech companies, they're always in a bit of a race to innovate and capture market share. You can usually find their stock trading on the Nasdaq Capital Market under the ticker symbol VUZ. This tells us they're publicly traded, which means they have to play by the SEC's rules and keep everyone informed. So what actually happened on August 22nd that was so important it needed its own report? Well, it's all about their accountants. This report is mainly about a change in their accounting firm. Now, I know what you're thinking. Accountants? Exciting. But bear with me because this can sometimes signal bigger things, or at the very least, it's a necessary procedural move that tells us something about the company's financial oversight. Essentially, Vuzix decided to switch their independent auditors. The old firm was Freed Maxic PC, called FM for short. The new firm is Witham Smith + Brown PC, or Witham. This change happened because Freed Maxic PC was essentially merging or joining up with Witham. So it wasn't like they fired their accountants because they found something shady necessarily, but more of a structural change in the accounting world that affects Vuzix. The company's audit committee, which is a special group of directors responsible for overseeing financial reporting and the audit process, signed off on this move. They approved the switch on August 22, 2025. Now, the filing also provides some reassurance about the previous auditor's work. It states that Freed Maxic's past reports on Vuzix's financial statements for the years 2023 and 2024 were pretty clean. They didn't have any major warnings like an adverse opinion, which is like a big red flag saying the financial statements are messed up. They also weren't qualified or modified in a way that suggests uncertainty or problems with how the accounting was done. There was one important note though, and it's a big one. For the fiscal year ending December 31, 2023, the auditors included an explanatory paragraph. This paragraph essentially said there was substantial doubt about Vuzix's ability to continue as a going concern. In plain English, this means the auditors were worried Vuzix might not be able to stay in business for much longer. That's a pretty serious statement from an auditor. However, the report also mentions this was remediated during 2024. This suggests that Vuzix addressed the issues that were causing concern for the auditors. The filing also confirms that over the past couple of years, including the period leading up to this report, Vuzix and their old accountants, Freed Maxic, didn't have any major disagreements about accounting practices or how to present financial information. They also didn't have any other reportable events that would cause concern, except for one thing. There was a material weakness in their internal controls for financial reporting. Think of internal controls as the safety net for financial accuracy. A material weakness means that safety net had holes. However, just like the going concern issue, this was also apparently fixed during 2020, and video also didn't have any other reportable events that would cause concern, except for one thing. There was a material weakness in their internal controls for financial reporting. Think of internal controls as the safety net for financial accuracy. A material weakness means that safety net had holes. However, just like the going concern issue, this was also apparently fixed during 2020 haul, which is good news. As part of the process, Vuzix had to send this report to their old accountants, Freed Maxic, and ask them if they agree with everything Vuzix is saying here. Freed Maxic then has to send a letter to the SEC confirming this. That letter is attached as an exhibit to this filing. It's basically a way to make sure the public filing is accurate from the perspective of the departing auditor. Okay, so they've switched auditors. Who are the new guys and what's the deal? As mentioned, Witham Smith + Brown PC, or Witham, is now Vuzix's auditor. The company expects them to provide services effective immediately. Now here's an interesting bit. The report states that Vuzix and their team did not consult with Witham before this switch. They didn't ask Witham for advice on any accounting rules or about the kind of audit opinion they might give. and Witham didn't provide any advice that Vuzix considered important in making decisions about accounting or financial reporting. Also, there were no disagreements or reportable events before the switch that Vuzix would have needed to discuss with Witham's predecessor. This filing also lists exhibits, and the main one here is Exhibit 16.1, which is that letter from Freed Maxick, the old auditor I mentioned, confirming their agreement with the statements made in this report. At the end, we have the signatures confirming that the right people at Vuzix have approved and signed off on this report, including Grant Russell, the Chief Financial Officer, on August 27, 2025. His signature confirms its legitimacy. Aye. So what's the takeaway here? This report is primarily a procedural update about a change in auditor because the old accounting firm is merging with a new one. The crucial part is that the previous auditors didn't leave under a cloud of severe disagreements or unresolved issues, although they did flag a substantial doubt about Vuzix's ability to continue as a going concern in 2023, which was later remediated into audit problems. Now, looking at the bigger picture for Vuzix, they are in a growing but competitive market. Smart glasses and augmented reality have a lot of potential, but it's a tough field with big players and lots of prototypes. The fact that they had flagged going concern issues in 2023, even if remediated, shows the financial pressures that companies in this stage of growth can face. Management stability and clear financial oversight represented by the accountant changes are important. The fact that they've apparently fixed their internal control weaknesses is a positive step towards more reliable financial reporting. The key risk for Vuzix, as with many tech companies pushing innovation, is execution. Can they deliver compelling products, capture market share, and achieve profitability? The past financial health concerns, even if addressed, mean investors will be watching their financial performance very closely. The change in auditors also means the new firm, Witham, will be taking a close look at Vuzix's numbers going forward. Any new findings or issues from Witham in future audits will be critical to watch. In conclusion, this report is more of an administrative announcement than a financial deep dive. It confirms a change in Vuzix's auditors due to a firm merger, with assurances that the previous auditor's work wasn't marred by major disputes, though past going concern issues were noted and reportedly fixed. The company's future success hinges on its ability to innovate and navigate the competitive AR smart glasses market, with its financial health and reporting integrity remaining key areas for investors to monitor. Alright, that's a breakdown of Vuzix's latest filing. What's your take on these numbers and what they signal for the company's future? Do you think Vuzix is on the right track with its smart glass technology? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. If this analysis was valuable, hitting that like button really helps us out, and subscribe for more corporate deep dives like this. And as always, don't forget to check out our Discord community in the description below for more discussions and insights. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time on Corporate Decoder.